The place that I grew up in and my home country is Syria. It was a place that I felt like I didn't really belong to. I didn't like our culture and how the people lived there, and I have always wanted to leave and go somewhere else. And I ended up living with my family back in 2011 as the war started, and it was really a silver lining for me. I was really sad for what was happening to my country, but also happy that I finally get a chance to go somewhere else and find a place that I would like more than the place that I grew up in. And after we left, I lived with my family for a few months in Dubai, and I realized that I didn't really like living there either, and decided to leave my family and go on my own to find my path and start my own journey. I am now 29 years old, and since I left Syria and my family, I have traveled through different countries, moved from different cities, met a lot of people, lost a lot of people, been through different relationships that didn't really work out, started different projects that I never finished, and made a lot of bad and good decisions. And throughout that journey, I was feeling really lost and confused. I felt like I had no stability in my life, and I was looking around me, feeling really jealous of the people who had stable relationships, stable jobs, lived in the same city that they loved for many years, and were generally more satisfied with their lives. It was something that I didn't feel for a long time, and I felt left out and that I was unlucky in life and the universe is just against me. My experience in my teenage years, my early 20s, and even my recent years wasn't really normal. I didn't have stability in my life like many people do, as I had to move every 6 months or so to a new place, and I fucked up a lot of different friendships and relationships because of bad decisions that I made. The longest friendship that I had only held for a year or so, and all of these things that I experienced had a big negative side. I was really impulsive, and I was just thinking about what I am doing in the moment without regard to the future or to other people around me. In the last couple of years, I have started to realize how grateful and thankful I am for all the experiences that I have been through, and how every step, all of these things that happened led me to the point where I am now. My experience in how I traveled through different countries and lost and met a lot of different people have taught me so much, where I have really learned to accept myself and love myself, and I embraced the idea of discomfort, the fact all the people around me might die, and I might lose my home and belongings at any moment, which is something that is uncomfortable for me, but I know now that I can get past that, move on. I have also become really more open-minded toward other people, as I have met people from very different cultures and lifestyles. I have really started to see reality in a more objective way, seeking truth and facts from a perspective that is outside of my own experience. Many people live most of their lives in the cities and countries that they grew up in, having the same group of friends that they had since primary school, and they pick certain career paths that they are not sure about but got influence from other people to do, and they keep doing that job for many years, and they get really used to the comfort that they have, that they get from all of these things, from the cities that they are used to, from the jobs that they know how to do, and from the people that they already know, and they put themselves in these bubbles that they don't like to get out of. And all of this leads to a fear of the unknown, a fear that everything might change, that you might die one day, that the people you know might die, that you might lose everything, your job, your home. The idea of change becomes really terrifying, and people distract themselves from that with this closed bubble that they have, that they are terrified to get out of. Reality is harsh and brutal, and many people don't want to accept that, and they distract themselves with many different things like social media apps, materialistic items, status, money, and many different things that might soothe that pain and put us in a delusion, in a flawed way of seeing the world, a version of the world that we might feel better about. The problem with all of these distractions though, and all of this comfort that we have, especially in the modern age, is that everything will come to an end. And a lot of people are just not prepared for the inevitable, that you might lose everything you have and you will have nothing to hang on to. Accepting these truths is really difficult, even depressing, but not necessarily. It is really just about mindset and being prepared for all of these things. For me, accepting these truths mean that I can appreciate all the things that I have now more than ever. Nothing is permanent. Nothing that you have will last forever. You will lose everything at some point. So you might as well just appreciate it in this moment and cherish it more. My experience made me really prepared for all the terrible things that might and will happen. If I didn't experience that, if I didn't have that instability, if I didn't move through different cities and lost many different people, I might have been still living in comfort, seeking my own pleasures, and not caring whatsoever about the world or other people. And that's a version of me that I don't want, and I really accept the version that I have now. A version that really likes to seek truth and facts, which is something that I never imagined, I never even thought of back when I was living in Syria and living with my family. And I do think that seeing things as they are, being objective with things, can be really difficult for a lot of people. And this is why they really hold on to their materialistic items or their ideologies and the things that they believe in.
Confronting your mortality, looking it square in the face instead of turning your back, is incredibly liberating for various reasons. It makes it clear to you that your days are numbered. It means I better have a sense of urgency and desperation to get things done in my life. I better have the requisite energy. I better appreciate the people who are around me, my loved ones, because they could be gone tomorrow. It gives a certain intensity to life, confronting this reality. Confronting your mortality makes you aware of how marvelous and wonderful and incredible it is to actually be alive.